Welcome on in, my Ashwings, to, well, a lie. I lied to all of you in regards to saying that Vincent was going to be the only hero that I really wanted to put a lot of focus into. I consistently am. I go into these phases in which I want to play certain heroes, and more importantly, I get really upset with Vincent. And it's not her fault, right? It's not her fault. It's just that the way Vincent plays is very strictly based around having a good hand. And when you draw a bad hand, you lose tempo for the rest of the game. It's hard to come back. And so a lot of it is just, I have to learn about the setup. I have to learn about all this other stuff. There's a couple things that I still think I need to learn about Vincent, but I'm not going to lie. She's just not consistent enough. And because she's not consistent enough, I wanted to play something that I knew was more consistent in the way that it played. And here we are with my deck for Cindra, Drakai of Retribution. So I named the deck Y'all Ever Flick in the Pale Moonlight because I think that was kind of funny. But effectively, we are running a near replica, just to start me off, because I've never played Cindra before. A near replica of the deck that had won the national championship in Thailand. Seems pretty straightforward as far as things are concerned. I've changed a couple things. For instance, Art of the Dragon Scale should be Tenacity. I think that's the only card I really took out. Otherwise, I've determined that the sideboard looks very specific towards certain things. Obviously, I can hit this and then do this. And then this is really our main board here. And then we have a sideboard of equipment and such, a main 60 in the deck. And this is kind of where we're looking to be for most of our matches. What I am hoping to do is attempt to pilot this deck into a Talishar game for y'all and see whether or not I can, on my quite literally first time playing Cindra, understand the general concepts of what I'm looking for in a line, what I do next, what disruption do I block out, what do I not, and how to send the best kind of hand with what I have. So notably, anytime I have the ability to pop mask, I will probably try to do so. I'm trying to attack with a kunai and then attack with two things, threaten mask, and then do the whole thing there. But I will certainly go ahead and continue to kind of push through this and see if there is something that needs to change. I believe this needs to be taken out too, actually, now that I think about it. So that's got to be taken out. The Salt the Wounds can probably get put in. And maybe we'll just put in the Art of Dragon Scale instead. So this is kind of the main 60 I'd imagine I'd try to do. And we'll see what happens, right? I'll go ahead and I'll send it into the Talishar queue. If you want a link to the deck list that I'm running here, I will have it in the description down below. And then I'm just going to go ahead and show you a game and see exactly how it kind of pilots into the competitive CCQ. All right, here we are in the competitive CCQ. Oh, I get to go against a Cindra. Okay, so if we're going first, we want to pop. I think we want to play Mask of the Pouncing Lynx, right? Try to keep a tempo up. Is that correct? I don't know. We'll find out. I'd also probably like to be a little bit more defensive in that front, so I'll probably play. I don't know. I guess we can just stick with the 60 and have it be what it is. But let's go ahead and send it. See what we can do here. So effectively, because we're going first, we know that we're going to be on a bit of a back foot in regards to killing our opponent effectively. So because of that, we want to change up our build a little bit. This is normally where it comes in, where you want to play Pouncing Lynx or you want to play Momentum. Let's see here. Pretty interesting turn, I'd say. We don't want to Spreading Flames just yet. But I think what I'll do here is I'll probably play Kunai of Retribution. Yeah. And we can probably even put Salt in the... Well, I guess we could Spreading Flames here first. So let's do that. Let's just Kunai here. Pitch. Attack you for 1. And then we can Demonstrate Devotion. We can Rising Resentment. Flick. Get our dagger back. my dagger here. Get a point of damage off, so we already leaked some damage. Oh, a shelter. I think that's super awesome, actually, that we get a shelter to hit there. So we do that. We say no to the blood splattered vest. We then pitch to this to get our dagger back. And then we arsenal pass. So that way we don't lose a whole card because we know they're going to block it anyway. So better to just hold on to it where we can. And now we get an arsenal for Spreading Flames. We can Spreading Flames, dagger, dagger, and then kind of go from there. But not a terrible hand. We have Ancestral and we leak damage. So we're on the front foot here in a way. I think most of our games are going to be we're not going to attack or we're not going to what do you call it? We're not going to block a whole lot, I don't think. Cut through, very interesting. So they're going to flick here to bump it up to 4. So then we can comfortably, if we really wanted to block, we can block another thing there too. But we will. Well, interesting. So if they flick, it hits. It gets go again. So let's just say screw it, right? This might even be the same deck, which is funny enough, right? Okay, that's fine. Or go again. So notably, they've already flicked. So if we're trying to keep them off mask, we can go ahead and block this next card. We can probably even block with, I guess we'd probably want to block with this. Well, we have a starter. We can't play Ancestral. Well, we can play Ancestral Empowerment, theoretically. This costs 0. Do I really want to block this, though? I think I'd rather just take the damage and then block a 3-block. Just because I feel like we can't give up Dragon Scalers too early here. Not a world in which that happens. So notably, they only have 1 Draconic Chain Link here because Cut Through was not Draconic. They're going to pitch to Cindra to get their dagger back? Okay. Oh, they're just attacking with the dagger. This doesn't threaten mask, so we don't block here. So no mask threatened. You go ahead and just continue to send it. Oath of Dragon Blood. That does also not threaten. It does threaten mask, theoretically. So we can give them an arsenal or we can not. I think this is a world in which we probably don't give them an arsenal. I might even block. I might even block with this, and I mean the Ancestral's really good, but we could also brand Ancestral, Oath, keep the Spreading Flames. Shit, I forgot. This only blocks for 2. Let's just hit the Oath then. That's fine. Fine. Prevent the block there. I don't care if they get to take a 4 block here. It's whatever. I'll draw into something else. Okay. So we're going to start with a Spreading Flames. I'm going to Ancestral Empowerment this. Okay, that's kind of cool, I guess. So we're not going to mask here. We're going to swing a dagger for 2. We're going to say no to that. We're going to swing a brand with Cinderclaw for 3. Theoretically, we could have like popped a thing to swing the other kunai and then waited, but Now, here is where we theoretically should pop Mask. Because then we have a Salt come in for 5. No. Let's just stay vigilant. Stay vigilant. Stay vigilant. Flick the dagger. What do we have in our deck that costs 1 that we can get with Mask? Scale. That's super huge, actually. Actually, yes, I will. Yes. Oh no, scale costs. Right? Oh, you know what? I didn't put it in the deck. That's right. Let's just get. I mean, this is hit for 4, so this will come in for 6. This will come in for 5. Oh, this will actually come in for 6. So I'm going to choose Lava Burst. Because we're at a Spreading Flames turn. Oh, so I popped this for nothing, but it's fine. Realized I didn't put it in the deck. I should have done it when I knew that I was going against Cindra. But I guess they could have just done something there. Running Renegade for 3. Ignite into Dagger. This is actually kind of a crazy hand. I wonder what they're going to be able to do here. We're just going to have to prevent Mask, which means we get rid of like and notably they only have the 1 dagger. Realizing that just now. They're on a more blue build, it seems, with the Concealed Blade. Hot on their heels, so we could let them hit, draw a card, and if they're on a blue build, they're probably, this could be a D-React on top, and we just get a W off that. The only thing here is that I'll get marked. I mean, they really can't even present like a lot more damage in this front, because I can present 2 into 1 into 2 into 1 into 3 into Cindra, flick into Cindra, and to do that again. It's not like the best hand, I think, but I think notably we want to try and make them flick here. But they do have the chain links to bring back their daggers. So, you know what? I'll let them have it. I'll let them have the Mass Trigger. What's the worst that can happen here? You draw a card. We hope it's a blue that they can't really do anything with, right? They didn't flick the dagger, notably. So Oath of Dragon Blood. So this is just for 4. They could flick here. They could also Dragon Scaler if they really wanted to, but I mean, what is my turn, right? If I block this, well, this brings me down to 19. I can send my whole hand and a dagger. So this is 2, 4, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, I'll let this hit too. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Yep. You're gonna flick, then I'm gonna do the Cindra ability. So they're not gonna get a resource. They're just gonna get their Cindra stuff back. Both their daggers. And then pass up. Cool. All right. This This might be a world in which like Scar for a Scar would be kind of cool in this deck, but anywho, let's go ahead and do this. We're going to send Ignite for 2. See, this would have been a crazy like Link's Hand as well, but I think we've got them on the ropes for the most part. Send the Kunai for free. Gotcha. Okay, you're just getting your block value. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. We'll send a Brand for 2. We'll do a Display Loyalty for 3. Go again. You're going to say no blocks. That's awesome. I do wonder whether or not we just kind of like lost everything for this. But because we could keep an Arsenal to make something cheaper, but we should have flicked on the last turn if that would have been the case. So instead, we're just going to send the Ignite again. We're going to flick here. This dagger. I guess I could have gotten one off of there, but I want to keep my 1 dagger. So we'll see. If they have more blues in their deck, they very well could have drawn into like really dumb, stupid stuff in regards to that. So we'll get a dagger back to have a starter. We'll not add a counter to Blood Splattered. We'll pass. See, yeah, this would have been a crazy Link's chain, I think, but it's okay. We just have to hope that they can't kill us here, because we definitely can kill them if we keep this hand. But the mask is going to be a problem, I think. So, real question here is, do we drop this comfortably? Let's come in for 4 if that's the case. Let's actually block 3 here. No, we won't do that. I hate giving my opponent information, but like it's fine. Because they would have just flicked anyway. This we can certainly block because we don't want whatever the hell is in their hand to block for anything more. So we will block with the Ancestral Empowerment here. They'll flick. That's fine. We've prevented 3 damage now, which means they probably don't have lethal. And we definitely do have lethal on the stack here if we keep our hand. Okay, Brand. It's fine. Snatch. They can give it go again here. So notably, I mean, we're still going to want to block. And I may even block with Blood Splatter on this one here. But we know that they won't kill us because this is 3 fealty into 4. I guess I can't get my dagger back if that's the case, which kind of sucks. I guess I wouldn't be able to do that anyway in this turn. They pay a thing, they draw a card. Huh. I could give up. Thinking. Please bear with me. We could give up both the Rising and this, keep a cut through in the bottom, or keep this as the starter. Even block 5 here isn't terrible. Keep our stuff. See what they send next by giving it go again. Or they can just Arsenal, right? This is either like an Arsenal or... But we don't want it to hit. But we can't give them a full hand either, because they're going to have an Arsenal. You know what? There's a world in which this just doesn't make any sense to do. I'm going to try and bait their arsenal. Or bait their boots. Yeah. That's cool. There might be a world in which D-reacts are pretty good in this deck, but I don't have it. So I guess theoretically they get to arsenal whatever the hell they want now, right? Because they have the ability to do so. Yep, Cindra get her daggers back. I do wonder if this is a Wrath turn. 1 is cool. That's fine. I'm wondering if we're dealing with a I'm confused. How did they not have to pay for that one? Interesting. They're gonna. I think they're gonna try to arsenal this card. I mean, I died a flick at my turn anyway, so they can block my whole thing out and try to like flick something. Yeah, I die here. All right, well, that's it. Yeah, that's definitely a good game. Because I don't have salt or shelter into this match, which I certainly should. Yeah, we'll just block 5. Shouldn't have gone to 1. That was dumb of me to do. But not a bad hand, I guess I'd say. I'm just going to go ahead and pass. Yep. And so I'm not running shelter into this match. I think I certainly should be, at least in this regard, but... Oh, wait, they had no daggers. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on. They don't have daggers. I'm sorry. Send that again. They don't have daggers. We could probably give up. This and this. I mean, we're still gonna end up having to have our whole hand taken away, and then they're gonna be able to get their daggers back. So, notably, also if they have a blue, they can just like buy them back and then do the thing. So, hot on their heels. We're not really gonna be able to block with this very well, so we can send this. Yeah, hard to be on the back foot for that. There's the fealty, so I'm imagining we're getting dragon powered. Oh, fire tenant strike first. This is my only 3 block, so. But now, notably, it's draconic, so you can buy the daggers back and then flick. Yeah. Yep. Good game. So that's pretty cool. They have the blood runs deep in hand. That's crazy. Crazy work. But not bad. I mean, effectively, we kind of learned that I think there were turns that I could have taken a little bit better. Maybe it was hands that I got that effectively just said, hey, you know, your damage was not correct. You know, for instance, that turn I dealt 20 damage to my opponent on turn 4. This is a 4-turn game, mind you. But being able to threaten 6 on turn 1, and then turn 2, threaten 20, and then turn 12, threaten, or turn 3, threaten 12. My opponent did that, but better numbers. The numbers were better. 14, 12, 25, 8. And again, I think this is because I maybe let them have the mask. I also, notably, would have had that game tempo for sure if I remembered to put in the Art of Dragon scales that I brought in, which I didn't do. So because I didn't do that, unfortunately, that means that I definitely lost. I misplayed myself in that front to go that route, and I took away because if I had been able to take 2 cards from their hand on that turn, they wouldn't have been able to really threaten mask. And notably, I would have had more of a tempo in my favor. to then continue to do more Mask of the Pouncing Link stuff. Well, I wouldn't have, because I would have been able to pop that to get that, but you know what I mean. But notably, I also wasn't able to get Art of Dragon Fire. So maybe, hold on, let me just see. You just destroyed two or less power, then banish it. See, I don't know why my entire thing was like it's 2 or less cost. I guess that would be really overpowered if it was 2 or less cost. But maybe Mask of the Pouncing Links then might not be the move. Maybe there may have even been a reason for me to play Momentum Still into this matchup, just because I know my opponent doesn't want to block. So cards I would have pulled from the top of my deck probably would have felt a little bit better. And then it just came down to tempo at that point. But I did shove them pretty far down as far as their life total. But once it came down to it, snatches were really interesting. I wasn't expecting snatch. And also notably just being able to, I do wonder if I just blocked that snatch there instead of letting them have it, how much more of a turn they would have truly had when it came down to it. But oh well. We live and we learn. That is our first time in the meta, or in the mirror there, and I think I played it pretty okay as far as things are concerned. So hopefully you all enjoyed today's video of me trying out Cindra. I'm going to go ahead and bring her to my locals tonight and see how she does. See if I can take a couple wins, or maybe even try out a little bit from a different deck. But I think that overall she's a very fun hero to play, and I mean, you know, it's aggro, right? It's pretty straightforward. I like straightforward. I think it's going to help with my mental whenever I'm playing these games, is doing that sequencing stuff. And overall, I think the deck played pretty well for what it's worth, to kind of push the damage through and really allow for me to go a little bit wider. So thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate your support. If you did enjoy today's video, make sure to hit the like button down below, subscribe to the channel as well if you have not already, and leave me a comment letting me know how you would have piloted those hands, and you know, what I could have done better as a player to kind of cinch my win a little bit closer against the Cindra mirror. So thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate your support, and I hope you continue to have fun in the flesh and blood. And I will see all of you beautiful Ashwings in our next video.